Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Handheld Collection, an even smaller series than Nub's Collection involving the handheld games that I had as a kid and I guess as an adult in a couple of cases. As always, I am your host, Victor Nub, and today we are looking at Super Mario Land, developed by Nintendo's Research and Development 1 team, and obviously published by Nintendo and released in the United States on July 31st of 1989. If you know your history of the console, the handheld Game Boy, you know that July 31st was the launch day in the United States of the Game Boy. This is one of the 5 games that was created for the launch of the Game Boy, along with Alleyway, which was a clone of the Breakout or Arkanoid style of brick-breaking game. There was a tennis game. There was I gotta pull up the list. I have it in front of me here somewhere. There was a baseball game and also Tetris. Now, as weird as it is to say, Super Mario Land was not technically considered the linchpin piece of software for the launch of the console, or the handheld, whichever you want to call it. It was actually Tetris. Tetris was one of these games that they considered an absolute must-have for the launch of the system, and frankly, it was probably the right call because the Game Boy game version of Tetris was the best-selling piece of software on the console. It sold a total of 35 million copies. So Tetris was absolutely one of the games they had to have as part of the launch lineup for the system because at that time, and you're talking maybe 2-3 years after the game became nationally known or internationally known, I guess you could say, to the world as just one of these must-play puzzle game experiences. However, we're not looking at that today. We're looking at Super Mario Land, and Super Mario Land also sold a huge number of units on its own. I don't think this was a pack-in game. I think it was only Tetris that was a pack-in with the original Game Boy. I'll put a note up on the screen if it was actually a launch title. But the game that we're looking at today technically is not the original version of the game that we had as a family. I don't know what happened to any of the Game Boy games that my family had when I was a kid. We ended up sharing the Game Boy is probably a nice way to put it. We went over this when I did the handheld collection episode about the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and the fun facts I had for Game Gear. The Game Boy was actually a Christmas gift for my sister, and the Game Gear was my gift for that Christmas. However, I did receive a couple of games to play on the Game Boy, either because they expected me and my sister to share our handhelds, or they simply forgot that they had given the Game Boy to her and not me. In any case, this is one of the games that if it wasn't included with her Christmas gift, it was one that we picked up shortly thereafter. And it is probably the one that we played the most on the Game Boy. We only had maybe 5 or 6 total games for the Game Boy. So again, Nub's Handheld Collection, probably going to be a very small number of games unless I can find a way to reliably get some PlayStation Portable or PlayStation Vita emulation on the computer that I use for recording, or find a way to just capture that video directly from one of the consoles. It's probably not going to be a ton of games for Nub's Handheld Collection, unfortunately, because we didn't have that many handheld games. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about Super Mario Land. This is famously the first game in the Super Mario Bros. Series not to involve the direct involvement of Shigeru Miyamoto. This game was developed by Satoru Okada, I'm butchering his name, and Gunpei Yokoi. Satoru Okada is a rather important name in the history of Nintendo because he is a gentleman who was primarily responsible for the development of their handheld division. He also worked on the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS, and I think there might have been a couple of other consoles that he worked on. Let's take a quick peek. The Game Boy Advance SP and the Game Boy Color. So he was the primary developer on all of those game systems. It had been a joint effort between him and Gunpei Yokoi for the Game Boy. However, Gunpei Yokoi left the company in 1996, so then they actually created a separate division in Nintendo just for Okada so that he could work on game handheld games while he was with the company. He actually retired from Nintendo in 2012, so he is no longer responsible for any of the handheld efforts that they had after that point. Super Mario Land, there is a story set up for this particular game. If you haven't been able to tell just by watching the demo video here, it takes place in an area that's not quite the Mushroom Kingdom, but we'll get into that in the story section, simply titled Story. Once upon a time, there was a peaceful world called Sarasaland. In this world, there were 4 kingdoms named Birabuto, Muda, Easton, and Chai. One day, the skies of Sarasaland were suddenly covered by a huge black cloud. From a crack in this cloud, the unknown space monster Tatanga emerged to try to conquer Sarasaland. Tatanga hypnotized the people of all the kingdoms so that he could control them in any way he liked. In this way, he took over Sarasaland. Now he wants to marry Princess Daisy of Sarasaland and make her his queen. Mario came to know of these events and has started on a journey to the Chai Kingdom where Princess Daisy is held captive in order to restore peace to Sarasaland. Can Mario defeat Tatanga, release the people from his interstellar hypnosis, and rescue Princess Daisy? It's all up to you and Mario's skill. Go for it, Mario. All right, that's it. That's the whole story. Not a whole lot of meat on the bone there. But then again, Mario isn't really known for a really deep, lore-rich experience. It's mostly just an Italian stereotype running left to right and stomping on monsters. Anyway, let's get started. I know that the intro here has been devoid of any sound, but that is how they designed the intro for Super Mario Land. There is actually sound in this game. And we're going to try to beat the game today. I can't make any promises, of course. It's been a very long time since I played this game, but I do think it is a doable experience in one sitting. This is a shorter game than your standard Mario game, as opposed to the original Super Mario, which had, I believe, 32 levels in total, between 8 worlds and 4 levels per world. This game actually has 4 worlds and only 3 levels between them. So 12 levels in total. I can't speak for some reason. I believe it is a doable experience. Now, because this was a game developed without Shigeru Miyamoto's direct involvement, there are some differences in the way that things work. Most notably, the momentum and the character model is a little bit different than what you had in the original Super Mario Bros. It does play just a tad tighter. Also, you're not going to get any of the traditional Super Mario themes that you probably would have expected. Although, to be perfectly honest, I don't know if there was a whole lot of carryover in the soundtrack between Super Mario 1, 2, or 3. They all had their own different style. Get those sweet coins! All right, so let's jump from here. Oh, I missed. I figured that was going to happen, but the good news is there's a way to get to the secret door right here. If you go through the standard door on the bottom, I don't think you get any bonuses, but if you do the top door, you should get a bonus round where you get to pick a series of platforms with a ladder, and depending on the one you get either extra lives or a fire flower. All right, so I just got 1 extra life. Another big difference between this and Super Mario Bros. Is while you do get a fire flower, you actually don't use fireballs, you use super balls. And the difference is they don't bounce on the ground and obey the laws of physics, they just kind of fly off in whatever direction after you hit the button. Now, obviously, the version of the game that we're looking at today is a version that would have played on, say, the Super Game Boy, because there is color. The original Game Boy famously only had a green screen, and the 4 different colors that it could make were all different shades of kind of like an olive green. And the Super Game Boy, while it didn't work on every game, usually provided a different palette of colors, usually based on the 4 different shades that you could see on screen with the standard Game Boy. Huh. Alright, we're not doing too bad. I haven't died yet. Gotcha. Of course, I'm probably going to play it a little safe just to make sure that I can get through as much of the game as possible in this sitting here. Oop. Make it. There we go. Hey. Oh! Oh, look at that. We're not doing too bad. Nice thing about the Super Ball is it actually can pick up coins for you as well as break some bricks. Usually the ones that it can break are only ones that you would normally be able to break as Super Mario, so they don't alter the game terribly in that regard. Oh, I got some extra lives. Cool. Thought I was about to get the Fire Flower, which I don't need. Another big change to this game versus Super Mario is, this is, if I'm not mistaken, canonically the first time that Mario has the ability to use vehicles. He gets to fly a plane in a couple of levels that we'll get to in the future. But as I mentioned before, here is a... Wow! Ooh. Big part of the design of the game is this Egyptian aesthetic that they added to it. Not doing too bad. I saw all those coins at the top of the screen and it's driving me nuts. How do I get up there? Yeah, get out of here. Ooh. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, he did. Appears that you also lose your Super Mario size if you get hit while you're using the Super Ball. Ow. Alright, so if anything clips your body, it does count as a hit, apparently, even if it just touches my hat. I tell you, it's a very simplistic soundtrack, but I'm digging it. I like it. It's got some juice to it. I imagine that was something I missed. Oh. Alright, I think there is a puzzle. Aw, man. I could have gotten all those coins, but I also would have been stuck, I think. No, because I see the question mark block. That probably was a power-up, so you could have gotten through it that way. Alright, well, I think we're getting up to the boss. Somewhere near here. Oh, crap! I was waiting for the fireball to go down. Come on. Alright, so it's gonna bounce. Oh, no, it's not gonna bounce. Gotcha. Oh. Oh, come on, kid. You're certainly no Bowser. Bowser would have thrown an axe in my jumping path. There is a continue system in Super Mario Land. The way it normally works is, if you get at least 100,000 points, you can do a continue and you can select a world that you play in. Oh, Daisy! Never noticed it before, but Mario's nose looks a little bit bent, like he ran into a wall. Yeah, 3 lives. Interesting. I didn't realize Mario got here via UFO, but apparently that is a thing. I do notice a little bit of glitching at the top of the screen. I think that may have just been the game, not the game cartridge that we're using today, but the actual game itself may have had a little bit of glitching at the top of the screen. Again, this is very early in the development of the system. This was a launch game, obviously, so... Oh, come on, get over there. Get over there, I want that power up, don't let it disappear. And now I'm stuck. Can I? No, you can't duck and jump in the... Oh, yeah, you can. Alright, well, not going any further that way. Oh, well. Aha! This is what I needed. If I could have fired that in there, I would have picked up all the coins. Come on. What? Okay, that does not work, apparently. Oh! Oh! No! I kind of like the idea that the Koopas, ostensibly, because I don't know if they're actually Koopas or not. Don't leave a shell behind that you can kick. They just explode. And I'm sure the reason for that is the physics may be a little bit too tricky for them to figure out for a handheld, so they just said, let's just make it explode. And someone said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Ow, I blew that block. Oh, well. As we mentioned in the very first episode of Nub's Handheld Collection, the primary benefit that the Game Boy had over its, I would say its primary competitor, which was the Game Gear, is the fact that the battery life was just dominant by comparison. Like, you could get something like 6 hours out of 2 AA batteries, which is very good. But there were sacrifices that had to be made as a result of that. Again, the screen only could support 4 colors because it was a green screen, and they just kind of darkened the individual pixels to a darker shade of green whenever they wanted to show a different... Yeah, cool. When they wanted to show a different shade. Another big difference was it didn't have a backlit screen. They did release future versions of the Game Boy that had I believe it did have a backlit screen on some of the newer models. I may be mistaken on that. But they also had accessories that allowed you to either magnify the screen so that you could see more. Let's do this. Yeah, all right. I don't know how I would do that. Let's do this. Oh, no, come on. Get in there. How about I just jump down and do it? Yeah, that's why the Super Ball's cool in this game. I love that. I love how that works. All right, let's just pop, pop, pop. I want to see if I can get one up into the other area there. Aha. Lots of lives. We want all the lives. Can I get it up there? Can I get it up there? No, it's not going to go. There we go. Clean up. Quit bouncing on the 3 blocks. Ah, it's not going to go any further. All right, well, whatever. Good enough. I think we may end up doing another video kind of like I did with the Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where we just go over some fun facts about the Game Boy. Obviously, it's one of the most successful consoles, not just as a handheld, but as just any console whatsoever in history. It was a massive success for Nintendo, which is why we're still playing games that you can play detached from a television to this day, is because they recognized that there was a market for those particular types of consoles. Something you could take with you. Oh, I thought these could break with the Super Ball. Guess I'm wrong. Uh-oh. No, I don't. Come on. Hit him. There we go. I was really hoping something in here would be coins. I also wish those guys would take damage from the Super Ball, but apparently they don't. Ooh. Okay. Nope. Oh, ooh. That was almost a bad mistake. Come on. Get him. There we go. Alright, how are we doing this one? We're doing it that way. Alright, so... Go! I made it. And I made it. Nice. I made it so much I went off the screen altogether when I touched the door. Alright, so I want the top. Now, one of the things that we are not going to see today, and I have a very vivid recollection of being an issue with the Game Boy, at least the original Game Boy, is the fact that because of the limited processing power of the Game Boy, which is not to say that it was, you know, completely incapable of decent graphics, but I do remember very vividly that when you would play that game, or that console, and this game in particular was pretty bad about it, there was a lot of ghosting. And what I mean by that is when you would move a character on screen, you would see just the littlest bit of a residual after image of whatever was moving. So if Mario was moving left or right, you'd see just like a trail of, his character model moving across the screen. Was it enough to distract back then? No. I think the novelty of being able to play a video game on the go was enough that you probably forgave some of those things. Today, it would be considered unforgivable, and people would probably riot in the streets if a console was released that had bad ghosting. Not doing too bad. A lot of UFOs in this level. Oh, look at that. They're letting me know. Mario. Need to start shooting some bricks. Come on. Oh, I couldn't get away. I also had no more shots. Oh, we're at the boss. Come on. Give me a challenge. Oh, I gotta shoot the bricks at the bottom. It's like waiting for the door to open. Come on. I will say, between the way that water levels worked in the original Mario, even the second game, or not the second game, the third game, and what they did here where you just get in a ship that can move up and down in the water, this was absolutely the way to go. Swimming is not fun in Mario games. It never has been. It's a mess. I don't know if they've ever found a way to make it fun. All right, come on. I want another 3 block. Bink! Nope, missed, but I got 2. So we're not doing too bad. We're about, what, halfway through the game now? Not doing too bad. So I gotta check something on the recording side there. Oh. Can I go down? Nope. Oh, I was trying to make a jump and I botched it. I'm not going to say with any confidence that I've beaten this game before, because I just don't remember if I did. Come on, make the jump. There we go. Again, this was probably not my copy of the game. It was probably my sister's, so she would have been the one who decided if or when I got to play the console. All right, let's do this. Good. And then pop those. And, yep, all right, good. Safe. Oh, I missed it. Come on, don't die here. I don't know, there's Mario in the very first game seemed to be able to cling to ledges with just the tips of his toenails, and in this one, you seem to slip off of it. Oh, come on. Thankfully, they're giving me plenty of opportunities to pick up coins in this game, so get out of here. Oh. Oh. Whew. Oh! That was a get. I can't remember if that was something from the original Mario Brothers or if that was something they introduced in the third game, which, if it was something they added to the third game, then technically, I think this game introduced the bullet bill cannons coming out of... All right, come on. There we... All right, good. Introduced bullet bill cannons coming out of the pipes, because I don't remember that being in the first game. Actually... It may have been in... Who? No! No! All right, we're all right. I missed the power up, but that's fine. I'd rather just not die. And then I died. Good. Yep. Oh, I almost blasted out of that pipe. Or I threw that brick, rather. All right, we're good. Oh, look at that. I complained early about the physics, but I don't know. They're kind of working for me. It's probably the most important thing they had to get right. If they were going to put a Mario game on a handheld, you have to make sure those physics work. Alright, I don't know if this is how you get to the end of the level or just how you traverse these. Yeah, it's just how you traverse them. I also have a feeling this is probably an area of the game where I just lost my mind because of the timing of it. Oh, let's see, yeah. Alright, got it. Jumping off of ledges, I'm starting to remember that being an issue as well. Just something about the timing of it never quite worked out. Alright, come on. Get it together, kid. What? Apparently, if you don't jump straight on the block, it counts as a hit against you. Alright, there we go. I got this. I don't have it! Wait. This is where I'm gonna fail out. I got this. I want it. All I do is just plan and execute. There we go, kid! I don't think I've missed one of these yet, which means I just jinxed it. Now I'm gonna miss every one of them from here until the end of the game. Come on, get the 3 lives. Nope, that wasn't it. I went too early. Although 2 lives is very good. Can I stomp on you? Yes, I can. Oh, come on. I was hoping the bounce down would have hit the turtle. And it did, technically. Just not in a good way. Now, I'm sure that's supposed to be some kind of spider, but in my mind it looks more like a tick. So I'm being attacked by enormous ticks, which sounds like a nightmare. Which, by the way... Oh, come on. Let's talk about something that is just an absolute nightmare of mine. And I think anyone who knows that they exist would probably agree that this is a nightmare. Tick bombs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, ticks lay their eggs in clutches, and when they hatch all at once, and they just kind of explode onto people's skin, clothing, whatever. If it's never happened to you, be thankful, because you're talking about, instead of having one tick biting you and maybe transmitting some kind of bloodborne disease that could potentially ruin your life, you're talking about dozens and dozens of these little bastards. Makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. No, I missed it again. Come on. All right, just go. Go, 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 go! Woo! No, you don't. Get out of here. Boy. Yeah, I was so confident coming into this. There's no way I won't beat this game today. It's so easy. Come on, it's a kid's game, and I'm starting to look like a fool for even thinking I was going to do it. Okay. I do not like that little ledge, but we got to make the jump. Oh! Oh. Woo! Gotcha. Oh. There we go. That's what I needed. Give me a little extra courage. Alright, we're making it. We're making it! Come on! And I missed the block. First 2 levels I was just breezing through, and now I'm really starting to struggle. Oh, come on! The edges are killing me. They're just killing me. Now, I cannot dismiss the fact that since I'm playing this on a retro console that is hooked up by HDMI, there of course is a little bit of a lag. Not a ton. I do have a monitor that's helping try to correct some of that stuff, but ultimately there's going to be delay in the input versus what happens on screen. But I also remember having an issue with timing jumps off of the edges of platforms when I played the original Game Boy version. Or played it on a Game Boy, I should say. It's just an issue with this game. And again, you know, when you have the lack of involvement of the guy who made the game series what it is, you're going to have issues like that crop up. Gotcha. Come on, get out of there. Hup. All right, was worried I missed that one. Glad the explosion of those turtles is not very big, because it would have been a nightmare if I had missed something because of... Oh! I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I got it. I missed! Second to last. Oh, the one time I was like, all right, I think I got the momentum figured out. He's not going to miss this block if I let go at this time, and then I overshot it. It's all right. We got 10 Marios to figure it out, and then I botched. All right. There we go. You see coins hanging in the air like that in a way that you're not going to be able to reach by yourself. It just screams the game is telling you you should have had a fire flower at this point. A little insulting, if I'm being honest. Well, I'm not going to make that. I have a feeling that was there because they wanted you to have, or get in the pipe. Oh, nice. Now I'm going to miss something. Make the jump. There we go. Make the jump. Whoa. Whew. I'm sure we've talked about this in the past, but one of the things I absolutely love in video games is when the momentum that you have in the air doesn't actually obey the laws of physics. And by that I mean being able to stop your arc midair and fall straight down, or to just curve yourself in a way that your jump shouldn't have curved. Those are things that I absolutely love in games, because it just adds an element of control that if it's not there, it just feels almost cheap. If you remember Castlevania games, very famously, no control over the momentum of your jump or the physics of your jump. If you jump in an arc to the left, you will continue to that jump no matter what you do. There is no stopping the arc once you make the jump. Mario games, famously, even in the first one, which probably had the least control, still allowed you to stop your momentum in a jump. And this game seems to continue in that tradition, even going so far as to add a little bit of degree of curve to your jumping. Oh, ho! All right, that had me worried a little bit there. Gotta get close to the boss. And there should be... Oh, come on! I should have gotten the stomp on that. The game screwed me. Well, that didn't work. Alright, cool. I at least get that extra hit. Get out of here. Gotta take those coins when I get a chance. We're getting close to the end here. Oh, made it! Nice. And if I couldn't make that second jump, I could have just tanked through that guy. You have the extra hit, you just walk right through him and then go to the backside. Oh, Daisy. I don't see the difference. I mean, that looks just like her. All right. Let's go with that one. Yeah, 3 lives. I need them. We're in the last 3 levels of the game, so this is where things are going to start getting real tight. And oh, yes. Good, good, good. Down? Nope, no down. Up? No, up. Boy, I don't remember anything about this level. Maybe I never made it this far. I said something about it before, and I would not be surprised if the amount of ghosting that occurred on the screen probably affected me enough that I could not get the timing on certain jumps right. Looks like little George Washington's jumping up and down there. I mean, obviously, based on the bamboo background and the sound that they're playing, this is probably a Chinese base level. And they obviously took some inspiration on just about every area of this game from a real-world part of, you know, the planet. First level is obviously Egypt, and I think since that's the first one that you see, that's the one that's always stuck out in my mind the most. Oh. Man, I saw the one level with the coins on top, and now I'm wondering how exactly I can get there myself. And the answer is probably I can't. It was one level. Oh, I'm not going to get any more than that. There we go. Come on, fire, 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 fire. Get out of there. Oh, rare bit of slowdown. I got to see just a little taste of the processing power limitations for the Game Boy. Not exactly a ton of sprites on screen for it to process, but even then, you're still talking about a console that was made 4 years after the original Nintendo. So, not... Oh, crap! I thought the cloud was a platform. That was dumb. Alright, we're not too far away from where I was, I don't think. Checkpointing is very generous up to this point, I would say that. I haven't had to restart an entire level at any point in the game here, which is probably for the best. Oh. Well, I was trying to catch him and he caught me. I got pincered. You're not dying. Oh no. They don't die. Oh, that's interesting. They're like dry bones. Oh, he shorted the jump! You jerk. Come on, jump off. Jump into the pit. Oh, he doesn't jump into the pit. Oh, come on! I'm starting to get sloppy. I want to beat the game today. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Hup. Come on. There we go. All right, we're all right. We got past it. Get some coins. Sweet, sweet coins. Whoa! Whoa! Ah, I clipped the damn turtle. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's a lot of these guys. Oh. I wonder if there's a way you can cheese them to get some extra lives. I'm sure there is, and I'm just too sloppy to do it. All right, so if you land on the one, you should be able to run over all of them. There we go. That's one of those little tricks that's persisted across basically every Mario game they've ever made. If you run across the gaps, you usually can make it across without having to stop and jump. Ah, I went early, but I could use the power-up. That's probably as valuable as an extra life at this point. Just getting that extra hit and also the offensive capability. Oh, I was about to say a like? No, not a like, but crap. My timing was off. And I'm about to die. Hey, can I stomp on this? I sure can. Yeah, I have no memory of this level at all. So this has got to be one that I just never made it to. Sad as it is to say. All right, I made it. Are any of these extra lives or power-ups? No, they're not. Almost like a slap in the face getting to this point and having absolutely no ability to grab those coins or the blocks. Get down. There we go. Oh, come on, man! It was right there. My salvation. Gotcha. All right. All right, nothing there. Hey. Oh! Oh, that should have killed me. Or at least taken me down one power-up level. Give me a fire flower. No fire flower, but I'll take that. That's good. That's good. Now watch there be nothing to hit. Good, yes. That's very good, very good. Wow, what a disappointing placement for the star. I mean, there was really no need for it there. No. Stop it. All right. Gotcha. Make it. All right, we're good. Whoop. All right. Whew. All right, I think I can jump up through these. I can. I did. Come on! I missed one the entire game at this point, and that's the last one I think I can do. And I got the 3 up for the end. Now, if I was feeling like an absolute, pardon the expression, cheese and just didn't want to take the chance that I might not beat the game today, I would do a save state, but we're not doing that. We're gonna beat the game! No cheating necessary. Oh, no, you don't. I like that the last level involves the plane. I also like that they're giving me power-ups, which is, in and of itself, very strange. Why would I need... Oh, I missed a life there. Why would I need power-ups in a plane? You're going to be a slightly bigger pilot in this. Grab it. Nice. I take this opportunity to hit as many of the blocks as possible in case there are any more extra lives at the end. Probably won't be, but you never know. Take that. I have no idea how much longer the level... Ah, crap. Now watch, the enemy will be right on the other side of this area. Alright. It's gotta be it. Put you around the wishbone real quick just to make sure that you're still playing the game instead of taking a nap. I mean, with the ability to shoot the enemy, I have faith that I can do this, but I guess we'll find out. Oh yes, I want that for the final run. Fists? What is this? Okay. Interesting choice. I mean, I thought this was the final boss, but maybe it's not. What? Oh, come on, game! Now they're starting to curve down when they had never done that before? Get an extra life. I love the little fists. It's very Monty Python-esque. Get underneath. Those little dive bomb tactics. Now they got me on edge. It's like, I just stay away from him if they're gonna curl in any way towards me. Gotcha. Final fight. Oh, ramp that music up, and I'm fighting a guy in another ship. Oh, I kind of like this. I like it. I got this. You ain't got nothing on me, kid, unless you start changing tactics, and then maybe I will be in trouble. Use my turbo button, which I hadn't used up to this point. This is nothing I've haven't already experienced in a bullet hell game or two before. Although he is starting to get way off screen. Haha! That's it. That's game. That is absolutely, from my recollection, the first time I've ever beaten Super Mario Land. Oh, Daisy. Daisy. Thank you, Mario. Oh, look at that. He's gonna get some. Your quest is over. Begin Master Quest. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we did it. I had faith that we were going to be able to take a look at the whole game today, and we managed to do that in one sitting. I'm happy with the result. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up. We'll do a round of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is, even though the physics are a tiny bit off, this plays very much like a Super Mario game. It has all the traditional elements. You're going left to right. You're breaking bricks, collecting coins, power-ups to allow you to tank hits, break bricks in a way that you couldn't without the mushroom. And I really like that they added some extra functionality to your fireball. Instead of just being able to damage enemies, you can use it to pick up coins. So there are areas where they could have put coins that they couldn't have done before that allow you to pick up some tricky coin drops or areas where they snuck some stuff into the screens. The length is a little on the short side, and that would probably go in the bad. However, I think considering you're on a Game Boy, which had, a limited power supply because of the AA batteries, that's probably not a big deal. They did introduce new enemy types. You're not just fighting Koopas and Goombas and then finding the King Koopa or Bowser at the end of every level. They added some new different types to fight because, of course, you're not in the Mushroom Kingdom. You're in Sarasaland in this particular game. Palette-wise, I mean, it's the very first Game Boy game along with the other 4 that were released. So there's really not a whole lot you can say about whether or not the color palette was all that expressive. With one exception, there was almost no slowdown for the game. I did notice that one spot where there were a lot of sprites moving on the screen that the graphics tended to slow down. As far as the bad, the soundtrack's not great. There are some sound effects in here that were pretty grating to the ear, especially when you would stomp on an enemy and they would get squished flat and then they would fall off that screen. That kind of weird, for lack of a better term, fart sound that would make the... That was not pleasant to the ear. I kind of like the like underground Egyptian sound when you get to the third level, the first world. That one's kind of fun, but the rest of them just aren't that great. The bosses are okay. I think maybe they clung a little too close to the way that they played in the very first Super Mario, where you basically just waited for an opening and jumped over them to get to the other side and hit the axe or end level button. They could have found a way to work around that and maybe come up with something a little more inventive. I liked the levels where you just got in a sub or an airplane and shot bullets. Those were a nice touch. As far as the ugly, again, even though we're looking at a Super Game Boy version of the game with some extra colors here, again, the biggest weakness, I think, of the Game Boy was the fact that it was a green screen, and the only way they could color things was just make darker shades of green. Even with the Super Game Boy Advanced or enhancements to the color palette, 4 colors. That's all it could really handle at one time. And even with this, different palette, which we saw today, which was more of a sky blue, white, brown, and I think there was like a yellowish tan color in there, it's not great. You don't get some of the nuance that was available even in the original Super Mario Brothers, which had only, like 8 colors available on screen at one time. Yeah, a little bit too samey, and backgrounds maybe could have used a little more detail. I mean, even here, all you're seeing is occasionally a cloud passing by. Let's go ahead and give this game a score. We do our score in Randars, 1 to 10. I'm going to give this an 8 as a launch title for the Game Boy. This is a very strong first game on the system. I can't speak too much to the other launch games because I don't think I played any of them except for Tetris. If Alleyway plays just like Breakout, I'm sure you would have fun with it in small intervals where you could play for 20, 30 minutes, lose all your lives, and say, all right, I'm good, and move on with your life. Baseball, I mean, we've played one baseball game in the history of the channel, and I had my gripes aplenty with that game, Baseball Stars, even though it has an interesting RPG system. Controlling your players when you're playing a baseball game on a console with 2 buttons, a D-pad, and a start and select button is not great, and it never has been. I don't expect that would have been a very good game. And then, what was the other one? Tennis, something like that. Tennis might have played fine. Ultimately, this and Tetris were the breadwinners of the launch of the Game Boy out of the group of 5. The other 3, who knows if anyone ever played them or has any fond memories, but these 2, I guarantee you there are still people out there who are like, yeah, these are good games, and including this one. A short, bite-sized experience for a console that had maybe 6 hours of life before you had to change batteries. Now, I say that realizing there was an AC adapter available for the console, so you could just plug it in the wall, and I'm sure we had one. And we could have played the games that way. You plug it in, you stick the power plug into, if it wasn't the bottom, it was probably the top of the console, and then just, ride it out until you got bored and either beat the game or lost your lives and quit. But yeah, for what this was as a launch title, this is a great game. It's still fun today. I wouldn't be surprised if they put it in their Switch online library for the Game Boy games when they did the releases for those. I don't know. I haven't played very much of it, but yeah, this is one of those ones that, if you're looking for a Mario experience that you can knock out in a short period of time, this is absolutely a good game. 8 Randars, very much a good game even today. That's going to do it for this episode of Nub's Handheld Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.